Last week we delved into the world of socialism and communism. We met with Bernie Sanders, we resurrected Karl Marx. This week we engage once more with the dead, but on their own turf. This week we go to hell. Dante's hell, the Inferno. It will be the most physically and mentally challenging filming session.
This is Roger the Shrubber. And now, I go to hell. Over this cliff. Welcome to hell. The seventh circle of hell is home to the violent and the bestial. It's guarded heavily by centaurs and minotaurs.
There's one minotaur.
It's heavily guarded by centaurs and one minotaur. There, we see Dante exploring the depths of hell.
What the f*** you looking at?
This is Dante Alighieri, writer of author of the Inferno, the book to become the favorite novel of many angsty teenagers who've never read it, despite their desire to yap incessantly about it in class. Dante, why is the seventh circle of hell structured the way it is?
There are 3 layers within violence. It ain't just one big thing. It's got tiers, you know? It's like my nona's lasagna. And each one is worse than the last. See, the cheese at the top, that's the violence against others. That's your Hitler, your murderer, your average Philadelphia trash. These guys are like animals, like beasts, you know? They're taking lives, but it ain't as deep as other crimes. Then, the sauce. That's the violence against yourself. It's just suicides, you know? When you take your life, there's a bit animalistic like violence against others. But really, you're rejecting God's gift. You're making a stand against God that's just no good. Now, the pasta at the bottom, that's just straight up violence against God. That's just a big you to God, and for that you suffer the most.
To better understand this silly Italian, we're going to use an analogy.
Chariot.
If we consider this chariot, the horse represents my desires and my freedoms, the reins are my control over said desires, and me, I am intellect and reason. The way to know how bad someone is, you look where in the chariot they are the most baddest. The closer you are to the charioteer, the worse that person is. Violence entails letting go of the reins, letting Dante run loose, and fraud is worse. It involves the corruption of me, the intellect, and the reason.
Hey, Donnie, this Virgil character of yours, he's been pretty quiet today. Eh? Where is he? Give him a day off or something?
Well, you know, he's there a bit in the beginning. He talks about this earthquake that shook hell and the passage of time in hell. But aside from that, you see, this is the first time in hell we've ever been with a different guide. You see, we meet up with Nessus, the centaur, and he kind of takes us through hell, as well as the minotaur. So Virgil is kind of on the sidelines a little bit in this canto, but that's because we're being led by other people, you know?
Allow us to venture forth into the first round, the home of those who have committed violence against others. Here, past the Minotaur who asks his riddles, the centaurs who guard, we reach a river of blood. Dante and Virgil are stopped by these centaurs, but Virgil, the wonderful man that he is, convinces them to guide them through the sea of blood. But this is no ordinary blood, nay, it is boiling blood. Not only that, people are bathing in it.
Oh no! I'm boiling in blood.
And not only that, it gets deeper and deeper as you go along. The more blood you sought in your life, the deeper you boil in death.
I got the rare chance to interview Alexander the Great. It's just, that was stupid. Dumb. I managed to scrape together an interview with a man paid to talk about books. Why exactly are they boiling in blood? I mean, if I were making a soup, I'd probably use bouillon cubes for the broth, and I'd maybe put some curry powder in there, but blood would never occur to me. Why blood?
Well, if you mean why Dante wrote them boiling in blood, it's like an eye for an eye. Those who end up in the boiling blood are the likes of Alexander the Great, Attila of the Huns, or literally every Spartan, but also your everyday serial killer, like Astro's fans. Dante put all these people, both those we paint as villains and those we paint as heroes, in the same punishment, with different depths of blood to match the severity of their murders, but nevertheless in the same group. To Dante, it doesn't matter who you are or what changed as a result of your actions. You kill someone, you go right to the blood. Dexter is no better than any other creep serial killer.
I like cereal. Do you think it's possible, perhaps, that Dante put all of these very famous historical figures in hell to make him feel better about the fact that he's really just a loser?
Yeah. Sure. I guess in a way he could have been self-conscious, and so he wrote that in. But he also deliberately includes a character like Dionysius, who brought long years of grief to Sicily, and so as an Italian, he could be reflecting distaste toward those who destroyed his home country. As a Frenchman, I would never stoop down to speak poorly of someone invading France.
French. See, that's a perfect transition to my next question, being that I was about to ask you about minotaurs and centaurs, both of which, as you know, being French, are words of French origin. Centaur, actually, it comes from the French pronunciation of the English term centaurse, being that you only had a cent, that wouldn't be enough for an entire horse, so you'd have to supplement it with a human. So why are the animals in hell, and what did they do wrong?
Well, they didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but minotaurs and the centaurs make fitting guards of the seventh layer because of their origin. They are results of crossbreeding between beast and human, which is a form of violence against the animals, and so it is fitting that they are tormenting those who commit violence, much like those who brought them into existence in the first place. Dante also sees them as non-human when compared to any violent human, and so whereas a violent human loses control of the reins of their horses, the minotaur and centaurs are naturally beast and don't fall into the same qualifications as humans.
So one could say, indeed, that the Minotaur helping out in hell is much like a police dog helping out an Austrian inspector, right? Like in Inspector Rex.
What?
I see heroes without fear, killing thunder, empty streets, time to hide in dirty.
Here is violence against self. People here, they turn into trees. So we'll hope against hope that there's one still left we can interview. Aha! We'll interview him. Oh no, he's a tree.
Mr. Tree, why don't you tell me a bit about yourself?
Well, you see, when I killed myself, I didn't realize I would get turned into a tree down in HE double hockey sticks. I died to escape the pain and suffering, but geez, now I suffer all the time. And I can't escape it, bud, 'cause I got no legs, bud. And heavens to Betsy, I'm getting torn apart by harpies. Once I realized, this ain't so bad after all, they put my human body up in my branches. Why, he's snookered, isn't he? I don't know the last time I've been so sad.
Oof. Anyways, why do you think you ended up here?
Well, from what I've been hearing from my tree buds, the reason we're down here is 'cause we gave up the reins of the chariot, throwing away God's gift of life and such, and as punishment, we have to be trees forever. And, do you know, pal, trees are just so delicate and so stuck. Like my car. back in last December when it got stuck in a snowbank in Edmonton? Roger, when you stuck that long, you really just wish you still had your body, you know? Anyways, go Oilers.
Now, Mr. Tree, for the viewers at home, just one thing, what do you miss most about your previous life?
You know, honest, probably the great nation of Canada. You know, maple syrup and poutine and Timbits and Timmies, oh my gosh. And the hockey, you know, I was quite a puck player back in my day. Oh, and everyone in Canada is just so nice. They're good old Canadian comfort. Oh, and we got beautiful lakes and mountains. Oh, the mountains just make me want to sing. Oh, Canada.
Well, Mr. Tree, thank you very much for this interview. Let me...
Oh, bud. My branches.
Okay, go.
Oh, well.
Nowadays, the punishment for our crimes are based on the effects of them. We ask questions like, who did you kill? How many did you kill? Was it on purpose? Do people think you're hot? In which case, apparently it's okay. But Dante reminds us that it isn't the result of the actions that God looks at, but the core of our personality, our intentions. When God evaluates my director for making this video, he considers his intentions. He tried to be funny. So rather than resorting to violence to get out of making these videos,
What the hell are those two doing? Who are these people?
I must cultivate, I must strengthen, and I must contemplate the tarnishment of my soul and my grasp on the reins of the chariot.
You know, Donnie, I think this is going to be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
You are watching. Roger the Shrubber. Roger the Shrubber. You are watching. Roger the Shrubber.
That's so funny.